What's up, everybody? My name is Mr. Info 5000, and today we're going to talk about former MSNBC hosts Tiffany Cross and Roland Martin. Tiffany Cross is a former MSNBC host that was recently fired. Now, she was told by her bosses several times, well, let me back up. Tiffany Cross, in my opinion, is nothing but a race baiter, race hustler. And she's a black woman. Always talking about the white man this, the white man that, the white man this, the white man that, not taking personal responsibility for the things that her race does, our race does. And so she was told by her bosses to kind of tone back the rhetoric, bring it back a little bit. And when she was told that a few times, she did not do that. She actually doubled down. She went in a little bit harder. So they fired her. So if you never heard of Roland Martin, he is a black man who, he has had network TV shows in the past and things like that. And now he is on YouTube. And in my opinion, he's the same as her. He's a race baiter. Every conversation is based around race. It's not based around what can we do. We know some horrible things happened in the past, atrocities, slavery, and all of that. How long are we gonna live in that state of mind? Let's keep that history in mind, learn from that history, and never let that stuff happen again, because it's not happening today. So Roland Martin went on his YouTube show and he had a total meltdown. I don't know if he wrote the letter. He had, at the very least, signed the letter, along with him and 10, 15, 20 other people that shares those same views that he do. I can think of one in particular is Jamel Hill. You don't know about Jamel Hill, and the ambulance chasing attorney Ben Crump. He's at least two of those people that signed it. It was 10, 15, 20 of them. So check out how Roland Martin melted down over the firing of Tiffany Cross.
The letter states, "Dear Miss Jones," this is addressed to Rashida Jones, African-American who is the president of MSNBC, the first African-American to be president of a news network. "We write to you on behalf of the Cross Connection viewing audience, which is made up of more than 35% of black Americans and other people of color who tune in every weekend. Throughout her more than 20 years in media, Tiffany Cross has been a consistent light of truth. Her integrity is a hallmark of her career on which her steadfast audience has come to rely. Ms. Cross is a trusted communicator, friend, and validator to marginalized communities who too often find their voices and valuable perspectives missing from mainstream media. Nowhere was this more true than on her MSNBC show, The Cross Connection. Her authentic audience connection and intentional truth-telling made it MSNBC's highest-rated weekend show, becoming appointment viewing for a committed audience that made the show's topics and host trend weekly. That is why we are deeply disappointed in the abrupt cancellation of The Cross Connection and the unexpected ouster of its host, just 4 days before a critical midterm election. This decision was announced just 2 weeks after a targeted, racist, and misogynistic strike against both Ms. Cross's reporting and character from a known racist and anti-Semite, Fox News host Tucker Carlson. His intentional misrepresentation of her platform amounted to no less than a direct attack and should have engendered immediate defense and support of Ms. Cross by her parent network. Instead, it appears that NBC Universal has allowed Fox News to dictate its hiring and unwarranted firing decisions. We cannot afford to be bullied by those who willingly and wantonly drag this country backwards. Given the undeniable rise of fascism and persistent threats to democracy we face in the current moment, NBC should be an unrelenting force for truth and a safe harbor for voices like Ms. Cross, as well as those with whom she shared her broad and popular platform. While other networks give voice to election deniers, Ms. Cross featured voting rights champions. Where other shows spread disinformation, The Cross Connection spotlighted justice. Where other outlets catered to the country's worst instincts, Ms. Cross elevated the discourse and taught audiences how to protect democracy. There's a persistent theme in the denigrating of black women's value and the silencing of black women's voices when they speak uncomfortable but necessary truths about the state of our society. This season is too grave a moment in American history to silence the voices of black women who, time and again, save America from itself. Tiffany Cross has long been one of those black women, and her voice is needed now more than ever. We believe you are clear about the dangers we are collectively facing and how reminiscent it is of this nation's dark past. We would like to meet with you before Friday, November 11th, 2022, to discuss a path forward that is restorative to the reputation and dignity of Miss Cross. It was signed by Melody Campbell, Cliff Albright, Black Voters Matter Fund, Latasha Brown, Alicia Garza, Rashad Robinson, Derek Johnson of the NAACP, Lanita Baker, National Bar Association, LaFonza Butler, Emily's List, Maurice Mitchell, Working Families Party, Tamika Mallory, Until Freedom, David Johns, the National Black Justice Coalition. It was by myself, Angela Rye, Impact Strategies, Jamel Hill, Unbothered Network, Kerry Champion, Reverend Mark Thompson, Make It Plain, Bishop William Barber III, the Poor People's Campaign, Repairs of the Breach, Ben Crump, Reverend Dr. Iva Carruthers, Reverend Dr. Liz Theo Harris of the Poor People's Camp. First of all, Carruthers with the Samuel DeWitt Proctor Conference, Reverend Liz Theo Harris, Cairo Center and the Poor People's Campaign, Savante Myrick, People for the American Way, Barbara Arnwine, Transformative Justice Coalition, Hillary Holly, Care in Action. Also, Ajeen Poo, National Domestic Workers Alliance, Kimberly Carter, Rep. GA Institute, Taracia Brown Wilkinson, Our Women in Politics, Jerry Gonzalez, Rebecca Carroll, Cindy Leave, Rebecca Carroll, Cindy Leave, Dorian Warren, Tynesha McHarris, Tiffany Flowers, Patrick Gaspard, Tarana Burke, Janice Mathis, as well. Those are the folks who, and Cleola Brown, Mignon Moore, Bishop Leah Daltrey, and Damon Hewitt with Lawrence Committee for Civil Rights Under Law. The reality is this here, folks. Also, Keith Olbermann ripped Rachel Maddow, Chris Hayes, Lawrence O'Donnell for their